So let's talk about law of attraction. So I was really, I started studying law of attraction I've been doing permanent makeup 22 years. So probably 25 years ago. And
Wow.
yeah. And I went on a date with a girl and this is BK before Cat, way before Cat, WBK, way before Cat. And I went on a date with this gal, and we went to a bookshop, a coffee shop, and they had some, music, and she was a little like, ooh, a little out there for me. For me, I was like, okay, but and she was talking spirituality, and I had never really heard of it. And at that time, I was kind of wandering, trying to figure out what to do with my life. I was caught-tailing, but not really feeling satisfied. And she gave me a couple of books, like Deepak Chopra, which was a little bit too complicated for me at the time. I had just gone through a breakup and I was heartbroken. She gave me a book by Marianne Williamson. I did read that, and I read it again. I read it like 3 times. And then Wayne Dyer. I started reading Wayne Dyer, and I could really understand his writing. And there were some other authors. And so I started practicing law of attraction, and it became a huge, huge part of my life. And it is today, you know. And when I heard you mention it a few years ago, I don't know, I can't remember how many years ago it is now, but I was like, oh, that's cool. She's into like law of attraction. So because there's not too many people you can really get deep and talk law of attraction. I think a lot of people, it's become very cliche, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
think people kind of look at it as like almost like, hocus pocus, like we're trying to
yes,
think magical and casting spells and it's witchcraft or
yeah,
they don't really know what it is.
no, or they think it's just think think hard enough and a shiny new car appears in your driveway, or and not that you can't manifest a shiny new car, but I
Right.
think some people look at manifestation as a way to just, if you just think really hard, I'm gonna get money and material things and this, and there's nothing wrong with money and material things. That's one thing law of attraction teaches you,
Right.
is to be comfortable,
Yeah.
with money and material things and feeling deserving and whatnot. But yeah, I think there's just a misconception about manifestation and law of attraction. I see, for me, law of attraction is, it's just simply living in optimism and being your best self, treating people, kindly and with grace, treating yourself kindly with grace, living in optimism. To me, that's what law of attraction is in a nutshell. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but that's my short definition. What is
Yeah.
your short definition of law of attraction?
The shortest definition I can give is you get what you give. That's
Yeah,
what the law of attraction is. What you put out is what you receive. So, people say, if I think really hard, I'm going to have this. That's actually completely opposite of what law of attraction is.
yeah,
When you focus on things, you tend to bring anxiety, negative thoughts, oh, I don't have this car, but I really want this car. You're anxious about it. You're not feeling good about it. And what people don't understand is with the law of attraction, it's all about the emotion that you put behind those thoughts. And that's the hardest part, is trying to break through all those, built-in thoughts that we've had since we were, kids, and trying to break through and realizing that if we're thinking about something that we really, really want and we're just like nonstop thinking about it and anxious about it, we're pushing it farther away.
right. Yeah, and then
But
you can become a manic thinker, right? You can start getting,
exactly, you can drive yourself
you
insane.
can drive yourself insane. And you touched on something that uh, I think I did a little TikTok video on this not too long ago, and it's emotional. It's like, you know, first you have to think about what you want, dream what you want. You have to believe you can get it, and you have to feel it. You have to feel it, and it's really hard to describe to somebody like what you mean. How do you feel like you want a successful, studio on Jones Boulevard?
Yeah.
As an example. But my example that I give is, you watch a movie and you can cry. Literally, you feel deep emotion. Some people do watching movies, and you can have real tears coming down your eyes. You can sob and have to get tissue and really cry. You can laugh so hard you pee, right? You can get really angry at a movie. And that's all fake Hollywood shit, but it emotes emotion. And if
the emotions are real.
The emotions are real. And
They're real.
Right. And it's a fake Hollywood movie bringing out that emotion. So if we can think about what we want, our dreams, what we want to achieve for ourselves, and what we want to accomplish, and how we want our lives to look, our relationships to look, and we think about those, when you're thinking about those things I just mentioned, those thoughts should be able to bring out that kind of emotion the same way a movie can. And that's a high level of manifestation. And it took me many, many, many years to develop that, to really develop that. It doesn't happen overnight, for sure. But it's a process, and it's a discipline, it's a belief, it's a lifestyle, right?
It's 100% a lifestyle. I kind of equate it to bodybuilders, where they're building their muscles and they're building their bodies, and every day they're working at it. That's how I feel about the law of attraction. Every day I do have to work at it, and it's like I'm conditioning myself to try to live in a positive state of mind, which of course doesn't happen every day. We're not robots where we can just automatically turn it off. There's things that happen that are going to take us down. But when it comes to manifesting, and I think I had a post on this a while back, I said manifesting is the belief that your dream exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, manifesting isn't just wishing or wanting, it's knowing I have it and trying to evoke that emotion inside myself that I will have when I actually see it in front of me.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do because it's almost like you're faking yourself out, but through meditation and journaling and things like that, you really can do it. And I'm not a very outwardly emotional person. I'm pretty guarded, and I can be very reserved, even though I could be dying inside of excitement. I can subdue that on the outside. Mm-hmm. So to get myself to be able to do stuff like that, it took a lot of work.
Yeah, it does take a lot of work. And sometimes you feel, I remember when it first started happening to me, you feel kind of silly.
Yeah.
But when I
I make myself giggle so I can feel happy, and this is why people think other people are crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when I was, and you're right, you have to, it's not just like this, dream somewhere off in your mind that you hope you have. It's like that dream, it does exist. It exists. And you just have to believe it exists. It is there for you, and take action and find the path there. And the path is not straight, right? Lots of obstacles, lots of struggles. Struggle is a part of the formula. You have to go through struggle to reach success. It's part of the formula. It just is. It's just how do you meet with those struggles, right? You have to look at those struggles as an opportunity, right? And so if you were going to take a right turn, but big roadblock, big struggle, and that caused
the universe pushing you that other way.
That's right. You know,
And
so
that's
now,
what that struggle was for.
yes. So now you have to take a left turn and you're all freaked out and you're upset. You know, not you and I,
Really want to
not
go
you and
right.
I anymore. Yeah, you want to go right. You're still trying to walk right, but you know now you're in quicksand, and but you know, it's just trusting. It's just trusting the process. When I was manifesting this studio, you know, I could smell the coffee. You know, I knew Kat would come in and you know drink coffee here. I could smell the coffee. I could see the wallpaper. It's bringing it to life in your
Right.
mind, imagining the colors, and or if it's a relationship, you know, imagining, maybe not so much imagining what the person looks like, because that's very restrictive, but imagining the qualities of that person, and
How they make you feel.
yeah, how they make you feel, you know, and whatnot. So I think, yeah, real. I mean, law of attraction. I always say, you know, PMU. Law. I always say PMU saved my life, but probably really, law of attraction saved my life, because law of attraction led me to PMU, and PMU gave me purpose. Right. It was something finally that I was good at, and I could call my dad and tell him, hey, I'm doing this, you know, I could be proud of, and I could earn a living at, and
And a really good one.
and a really good one, which I did,
Amazing living,
yeah,
an amazing life, you know?
yeah, which I didn't know back then. And
Yeah.
my first 5 years, I did not make a very good living. My first 3 years, I was, you know, broke as all hell and super struggle, because there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was no nothing. And permanent
Right.
makeup, it was, people didn't quite understand it 22 years ago. And so I struggled my first 3 years financially. And then I started getting a little bit more stable. I think at about the 5 year mark, I was pretty stable, where I definitely wasn't going, you know, a week without, you know, a handful of clients anymore. But it took me some time, you know, to build a stable clientele. And then by the time I opened this studio, I was booked out 6 months. I mean, you know, 4 or 5 clients a day. I was doing 10, 12-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week. And that's when I decided I needed my own studio. I needed to bring on artists. And I always saw that for myself. You know, I always saw me having a PMU studio exactly the way a body tattoo studio is. You know, that was always like my dream, and having a really super cool online permanent makeup store that looked cool, you know, and sold cool shit. Yeah, you know, I wanted all of that. I saw all of that happening for me. And yeah, and I'm just super blessed that it all came to fruition. But, you know, just like you, Jen, you know, there's sacrifice. I have sacrificed a lot, and I still sacrifice. You sacrifice your time, and you miss out on a lot of stuff because of work, you know, and deadlines and timelines and engagements and whatnot. But it's a sacrifice. I gladly, you know, give into, because I'm happy. I mean, I'm doing what I love. You know, I'm super happy. I'm still happy all these years, you know, doing this. So, and I got a great team. I'm super lucky. I'm sitting here with
You do.
Olivia and Willow right now. Yeah. Yeah.